Oh yeah, Grenada, Carrico, Peter, Montnick, and the rest of the world, welcome to another Mikey Live program. How are you doing, folks? This is where it all happens. We are talking about the good. Ooh, yeah boy, we hot. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. I want to invite you to brace yourself. Tonight's news is going to be of the shizzle my nizzle as usual. Folks, we got it all for you. You know what I mean? So I want to encourage you to share the program. You see, when you share the program, other people gets to see what's going on. Other people gets to monitor the business. You don't play greedy. You know what I mean? Share the thing. You know? Share the thing. People, we have a lot of things to tell you about. And remember, this is news discussed, not told. You know what I mean? So here's what. 2 Grenadian nationals arrested on marijuana run in St. Vincent Waters. Also, the National Democratic Congress say that they are disappointed and depressed that the referendum failed. Union Island murder suspect nabbed in Grenada. We're going to tell you about that. And as well, Lyndon Victor signs with Puma. Yeah, I mean, a big deal right there. 3-year-old among 4 Venezuelans. In fact, not 4. I think the number went up to 11. All right. Well, 11 persons held. All right. For trying to get into Trinidad and Tobago. That was a very interesting story. That was breaking the internet a couple of days ago. So we'll tell you more. Youth charged with stealing bikes from Georgetown Police Station. Listen, would you imagine some fellas, some small men, accessing police property, going on the police compound? People, I'm not even making it up. We don't make news up. All right? Accessing police property, going onto the police property and stealing from the police while they're there. Never heard that yet. That's bravery on another level. That's bravery on steroids. We're going to tell you about that and more, people. So share the business. Share the business. So what we're going to do, we are going to take our first break and come back. As usual, we want to remind you that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emeralds International. Always share the business. Because when we come back, it's real news in all the Lily Lolo. And then we have the doctor. So brace all yourself.
And so it begins. A journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts present Youth Week 2018, empowering our youth, shaping our community, protecting our future. The week of activities kicks off on Friday, November 9th with the Minister's Address from 8 p.m. Saturday, 10th November, Health Fair, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cuthbert Peters Park, War, and the Fitness Revolution, 3 p.m. Concord Junction. Sunday, 11th November, it's the Peace Concert, Grenville Bus Terminal. On Tuesday, 13th November, ministers meet with the youth at Her Majesty's Prison. Thursday, 15th November, from 5 p.m., it's the Imani Graduation, Youth Awards and Gala. And on Friday, 16th through the weekend, it's the National Youth Service Weekend. Every parish get involved. And on Saturday, 17th November, it's Youth Expo, Explosion Fashion and Cultural Day, 2 p.m. until at Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark. So remember, Youth Week 2018, November 9th to the 17th.
The countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Alright. Oh gosh. Okay, let's get into the news, alright? Let's go. Good. Now the first thing that we have to tell all you, hey, all ya, the whole thing turn up pension reform and restoration and thing. That's the conversation that is being had right now. And just before coming on the program, we got a bit of a bulletin of an address to the nation. An address to the nation. You understand? By the Miss Beryl Isaac, secretary of the secretary to the cabinet and chairperson of the government's pension engagement committee. Yes, they are putting out a press release. They are putting out. Sorry for that, guys. They are actually putting out a statement, a national address. Let's just take an excerpt, and then we're gonna come to the full thing later on.
To pay 98% of our workers' monthly pension and 2% as gratuity. In other words, the public officer will receive a monthly pension of $1,960, while under the union's demand, that pension will be reduced to $1,500 per month. After 12.5 years, having repaid government the gratuity, the worker will revert to his or her full pension. Age of retirement has to be reformed. The other dispute arising during these negotiations is the question of when pensions should be paid. All over the world, the age of retirement has been increasing. In Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica, the pensionable age is 65 years. In Dominica, it is 62. Grenada is one of the few countries where the retirement age remains 60 years.
All right, and folks, that's just an excerpt. In fact, just to give you an idea as to what you will be getting in the address to the nation on pension restoration and reform. Now, we'll be able to play that for you after the program, all right, has ended. Then we're going to play that in a special broadcast for you guys, all right? And there are a lot of important things that were addressed in that address, okay? All yeah. So now we're getting back into the regular thing right now. You know, that's like interrupting your regular programming for this special bulletin. Now, all right, we go back on the train tracks. There we go now. Oh, yeah. Now, one of the things that I saw today that I thought was very interesting, boy, sandals. You understand? They were helping out a disabled individual. You understand? What they use? They don't say otherwise abled. Yes, with a wheelchair and some other supplies. And I thought that was very, oh yeah, let me get it for all you. And I thought that was very interesting, you understand? And you know, on the program, we like to highlight these kind of things, you know, not just the bad news and stuff like that, but we must always identify the good things that are happening within the community and highlight them and talk about them, you know what I mean? So here is a picture that I wanted to share with all on the program. Look it right there. You understand? Yeah, man. Big them up, man. Now, a few months ago, 70-year-old Desmond Sandy of Happy Hill, he suffered with backaches, which he overlooked. All right, he presumed that it was just a natural part of aging, but little did he know that he suffered with a severe case of spinal cord compression, which will leave him in severe pain, people, and later unable to walk. You understand? Now, earlier, they decided that they were going to help the Sandals Foundation and St. George's Lions Club. You understand? And so they did help him with supplies, wheelchair and stuff. And we thought that was really good of them, you know what I mean? So earlier, get them out. Yeah, man, give them people, that's what we're talking about. Show them people some love on the program. All right, now we just want to let you know that we have an entire release on this on our website, MikeyLive.com, so you can go after the program and check out the business. Olio, Lyndon, Victor, signs with Puma, Olio, Victor, more good news again. We put him up on all the screen to see who we're talking about, all the real good news tonight. You understand? The Decathlon athlete, Lyndon Victor, he has announced on his social media page that he has signed with Puma. I'll give him a Puma. A clap for Puma Jed. Puma SE, but it's branded as Puma. It is a German multinational company that designs and manufactures athletic and casual footwear, apparel, and accessories. Now listen to this, people. Puma is the third largest sportswear manufacturer in the world. You understand? In the world, the third largest sportswear manufacturer in the world. Now in his Facebook post, Victor says, never despise humble beginnings. And he go on to say that growing up, I only own one pair of shoes that I wore everywhere. Today, I am proud to announce that I signed my first shoe contract with Puma. Yeah, man, love up the thing, man, and share the program one time too. You understand? You don't see that them kind of news. No, you don't get in that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't get that kind of news anyway. That's what we're talking about. Allah, let them people alone. Don't come here for that. I go hear about you. Talk about muscles. I go hear about you. And I be there. Or you. Let's get on to some serious business right now. 2 Grenadian nationals, according to reports. 2 Grenadian nationals have been arrested on what seemed to be a marijuana trip. Now they got caught, according to reports, in Vincentian waters. You understand? They found themselves in some hot waters, people. According to reports, they were arrested in a fishing boat. You understand? In St. Vincent waters. And they say that a quantity of marijuana was seized. According to reports, again, it appears that they walk back on the way to Grenada. They're coming back home with the business. And things don't work out for them, boy. They get nabbed by the police. Police catch up with them. You understand? All they want name and name. All they like names, so if all you want to know about name, go on the phone book. Yeah, real name and name. Take all the time. Alright? We're moving on. In another story, people. In another story. A Union Island man get nabbed in Grenada, so he go both ways. You understand? Grenada and get catching in St. Vincent water. Vincent shall get catching Grenada. Never hear that yet. A Vinci man who was wanted since early October in connection with the shooting death of a Union Island man has been nabbed according to reports in Grenada. We're making it up. Big up eyewitness and them kind of business there. No, police had issued a wanted persons report, a bulletin for Joel Gary Barker. They call him Budong. That is my nickname, Budong. Jano. His other nickname is Platinum. Yeah, it's a platinum. Jano. Anyway, they say he was wanted in connection with the murder of one person by the name of Kareem Bowens, a 23-year-old, who died at the Union Island Hospital on October 3rd after receiving a single gunshot wound to his chest. Know what I mean? They say that the incident occurred near a shop on the southern Grenadine Islands. Now, the police handling in St. Vincent and the Grenadines say they talked to the commissioner here. So commissioner and commissioner discussed the business, and they say that they are making arrangements to have him returned to authorities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I also heard that he got himself caught up in some business here, and that's how come he, when the police do the research and thing, they found out, but wait now, is the same man were there. I tell all don't mess with Grenada police, If I don't want to get catch, well yeah, mess with Grenada police. You know what I mean? I'll give the Grenada police a clap, please. Come. Take all of yeah, some of them they don't like me here at all, What? Yeah, some of them they don't like me here at all, When they see me passing, they go on the next side of the road, Never hear that yet. If they see me name on a birthday cake, they don't want it. Yeah, that bit, but it's small thing. All of us on the same side. So people, they say they're making arrangements to have him returned to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know what I mean? Big up all them police in Grenada, like all of bad. And I be yeah, boy. Now we're moving on. The National Democratic Congress say that they are disappointed and depressed that the referendum has failed. You know what I mean? They had a post-referendum press conference. They do the business today. You know what I mean? And so they talk about the business. We had Claudette Joseph and then kind of business talking about the business. So let's take a little bit of what she was saying.
That the lessons of Tuesday last be well learned. In governance, we cannot take our people for granted. We cannot adopt a high-handed, arrogant approach to these matters. We have an obligation when given the task of serving our people to serve them well by listening to their concerns and acting where necessary. It is indeed depressing for all of us that we have not just failed ourselves, but we failed the Caribbean, because this is the second attempt we made at reforming the Constitution, which would have brought Grenada to the Caribbean Court of Justice as its final appeal court. And it's the second time that those in charge of the process went about it the wrong way, and very surprisingly, doing it the same way they did it as in 2016. So obviously, they should have expected the same result. We would want to let it be known to our Caribbean brothers and sisters, and particularly to the judges and administrators of the CCJ, that the National Democratic Congress is and has always been in support of the Caribbean Court of Justice becoming our final appellate court. To do so, we must amend our constitution, we must alter our constitution, and the people of Grenada must approve the alteration. So when you have the people of Grenada saying to you that we do not approve the alteration that you propose, and you ignore them, it is almost as though you are intentionally sabotaging the effort to become part of the CCJ.
All right, and that was Claudette Joseph speaking on that issue. Then the party leader, Joseph Andal, said that they were never part of a yes campaign. For those who say that they initially signed on and were saying yes, and now they twist them out like mine, they're saying that, hey, we never, no. It's a misconception. And then he went on to explain.
I noticed that in certain quarters, it is being bandied about that the NDC was part of the yes campaign, and that at the last moment we withdrew and turned against it. That is absolutely false. We were never part of any yes campaign. We were invited to serve on what was called the CCJ Advisory Committee. It turned out that that committee was a committee set up to promote a yes vote. We have no problem with government or anybody else promoting a yes vote or a no vote. But we believe that everything must be above board, that no traps must be set to ambush people. If you're invited to be part of an advisory committee, you expect the committee to be what its name says, advisory. If they want you to join a yes committee, be open about it and say join a yes committee. The NDC wishes to reiterate that we continue to support the Caribbean Court of Justice in both its original and appellate jurisdictions. However, what transpired on Tuesday was a very sad chapter in the history of Grenada and the Caribbean. It was a missed opportunity. It was scuttled simply because of the customary infusion of partisan politics in a matter that was supposed to transcend the green-yellow divide in Grenada. From the beginning, we indicated to the authorities that we were prepared to work with them to achieve a bipartisan consensus on the CCJ and on other matters of national interest, such as electoral reform, for example. We told the nation that although we were not opposed to the CCJ, had we been in office, that would not have been a priority for us, considering the severe problems, in fact, crisis that we face in the health sector, considering the challenges faced by our educators, by our law enforcement agencies, and by a number of different sectors in our society. However, we recognize that it is the prerogative of the government of the day to set its legislative agenda and to prioritize items as it sees fit.
Thank you very much, Andal. And folks, we're getting ready for the doctor.
I noticed
but we have another thing to tell you about before we do that, all right? Now, earlier, there's a video in circulation on social media 2 days ago that showed some people jumping off a boat running onto the shores in Trinidad. Now, in the video, and many of you would have seen it, right? In the video, they were saying that these are foreign nationals, these are probably Venezuelans or so, trying to get into Trinidad illegally. We are now learning that police have caught up to these people, and among them a 3-year-old. Listen to this report.
11 foreign nationals who came into this country illegally have been detained following an anti-crime exercise conducted in the Arun district on Tuesday. This follows a video circulating on social media showing what appears to be persons entering the country illegally at a beach in Arun. The video was brought to the attention of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and resulted in an exercise being launched by Senior Superintendent Adams and Superintendent Basdeo at the Losiro Beach area. During the exercise, a party of officers from Arun Police Station conducted a search of a hotel where 7 male and 4 female foreign nationals were found and detained. The men, ranging in ages 31 to 55, included 5 Venezuelans, 1 Guyanese, and 1 Syrian. The women, ages 18 to 49, were 3 Venezuelans and 1 Syrian. The owner of the establishment was also taken into police custody pending further enquiries. The foreign nationals have since been handed over to the Immigration Division.
Yo, that Jedina. Thank you very much, alright? Oh, yeah. Here a story that go on in St. Vincent that I have to tell all you about, alright? Would you believe if I told you that some young stars have broken into police property, right? And have stolen police property while police is on the compound. I ain't making it up, all right? According to eyewitness. They say that a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old, and these are students and things, broke into the police property, while they were there, you know. They were charged for entering the Georgetown police station on the morning of October 22nd. I'm making it up. 22nd, and stole 2 small motorbikes. They stole 2 motorbikes along with 1 bicycle. The value of $3,000. Now the senior magistrate described the action as very embarrassing to the local constabulary. Well, yeah, of course. If you have a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old brave enough to break into police property and steal, I mean, I don't understand this. I never hear that yet. They are also questioning the whereabouts of the police officers who were on duty at the station at the time. They said this matter requires further investigation. I'm making it up. They said this matter requires further investigation because it don't make no sense. They said that the young men entered the exhibit room of the police station. They gained access via a window that was open. They said that the station orderly was in the station at the time. No. They said, well, the defendants entered guilty pleas and they were remanded into custody. How you could remand them, man? You understand? You can't remand them, man. You gotta give them a trophy for bravery. You gotta give them some real sting, you know, like how you don't give them police on them and you give them scout and them cadet and thing, something on the shot. Yeah, so when they ask all how you, because them men and them, they make history. Them men going to the police station, I'm telling all you, break into the police station, go with them motorbike and them, and imagine they go with them motorbike inside, woo, 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 too small, man, I'm like, I never hear that yet. People imagine, yeah, I mean, siren coming on the road. I don't know how Grenadians just do it already, you know what I mean? When you hear the siren and you know, everybody pulling on the side. And you see two small men and a bike coming on the road. Yeah, I mean, oh, John, no. Anyway, I ain't making it up, no, serious. Go on, St. Vincent News and you go see it. I ain't even making it up. Oh, yeah. How are we looking for time? Yeah, we just about getting ready for the, yeah, right, we just about getting ready for the doctor. You know what I mean? There was a youngster who was killed in St. Vincent, boy, a young lady. But we not time to tell her about it too much, you know what I mean? But yeah, boy, nice child and thing, eh? Yeah, 19 years old, you know. 19 years old now. Yeah, boy, they found her dead and thing. So the police and thing, they doing the investigation and thing like that, you know. All these crimes and thing, and it does just hurt me head, you know what I mean? But yeah, boy, what? Them small men and them jet, you know. Yeah, small men and them break up in the police station. No, listen, it's another story. It's one thing to break open, it's one thing to break and enter. But anytime you are brave enough to break into police compound, although that one different, you know, I don't think that should be coming with a charge. I know I'm serious. If you have a 16 and 17-year-old breaking into the police, you have to hire him. That reminds me of the story when they had a guy down there pretending to be police in Tongan, and so they don't like me for what I when I was so he's still a man who don't like me here though. A man say, a police say, Mikey, your news was not entirely accurate. I say, what do you mean? A police tell me that I didn't even making it up. When we run the story about the fake police in the police station, your story wasn't entirely accurate. I say, explain yourself. When they say me to, he said, Mikey, I'll be very honest with you, I'm not a fan. Your story wasn't entirely accurate. I said, to what degree wasn't my story accurate? He said it was about 99% accurate. I said, what the? So what it is? And I mean, eh? You might want to kill me for 1% and to see what the 1% is. Anyway, let me leave that talk there. And I mean, so right now the man say, anytime you see me passing on the road, you pass on the next side. Because my news is fake. Because it was 99% accurate. Say, what? No, I don't even making it up. The next time, I'll bring him on the program. he say he prefer to be seen with Kem than to be seen with me. And I say, what? That's how we come now, boy. And I remember I like him in my soul, yeah. I like him, my dog, same way. You know? God say love your neighbor as yourself. Alright, so people, have you ever felt woozy, dizzy? All the shady program, no, man. Shady program. And listen, I doesn't make up thing here, no, serious. We just tell you facts in a funny way, but we doesn't make up none of the program. Like, for example, I could tell you the accident that happened yesterday. We talked to the person, we talked to the man. We spoke to the man who was in the accident yesterday. The man was running to the pole. We talked to him. We talked to him. And we are looking to do a special report. This man here, we talked to him. We talked to him. Right? So here what's going on. Tomorrow, we breaking the internet with our story. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to see if we can have a little sit down. You see the man who walk how much miles? How many miles they say the youth man walk? He communicated that just now. The youth man walk how many miles to get on the first day of the job and then kind of business. And right now, he's one of the most famous persons in the world. When we finish with that story on your screen there, we breaking the internet. It's another Steve Harvey moment we getting for that story. And I mean, I telling all this straight. So anyway, all the brace all yourself for it, right? I don't really want to tell all you about it tonight, but we have a follow-up to the story. You understand? We have a follow-up to the story. Take all the time with me. Right. Audio. So there was one time I could remember feeling dizzy, right, in my life. One time. You understand? I go to China and I decide here what's going on start. Me anything nothing I don't know. Doctor say I don't eat nothing I don't know. You know what I mean? And not only in China, anywhere I go I don't eat nothing I don't know. You know what I mean? So what I say, you know, your boy eat rice and egg for about 2 weeks straight there. And what happened now, your boy get kind of sick. I don't know, like the food wasn't nourishing enough or whatever, because you can't live on rice and egg for 2 weeks. I mean, you know what I mean? So I started feeling dizzy. The whole room spinning around. I say I go dead, you know. You know what I mean? So when I was hospitalized, you know what I mean, they explained to me what I did wrong and so on, so. And I'm saying this to say that tonight we have the doctor with us, and we're going to be talking about just that. Dizziness and then kind of business. You know what I mean? The cause of it and thing. And so, alright? And it's called vertigo. Alright? And we have Dr. Ansley. All share the program, no man. Boy, you don't see people, boy. All share the program, no man. Share the program because we don't want to waste we talk today. We have Dr. Anselm Okeke from the Divine Medical Center and Diagnostic Services to talk to us about it, Doc. Good night.
Good night, Mikey, and good night the rest of the public. So we have to discuss dizziness and vertigo today.
All right, that's it, people. So, Doc, we're getting right into it now. We're getting right into it. So, what is vertigo?
Well, vertigo implies, what it means is that it's just a sensation or just a perception of spinning movement, and it means the person feels as if there is, or the entire body or the head is shaking when it is not existing. So it is what the mind produces. It's not actually that movement. It is only the sense. I use the word sense of movement. So the person feels that he or she is moving or spinning around,
right? But
it is not existing.
Ah, okay, cool. All right, Doc. So that's good. And no, so tell me, are there symptoms that's associated with it at all, other than just the dizziness itself?
Yes, definitely. When we're talking of vertigo is still part of dizziness. Though there are other aspects of dizziness which includes that sense of unsteadiness, and then you have weakness, and the person feels as if, like we've already said, that spinning movement. And then, well, the associated symptoms include one, a person will have a feeling of vomiting. A person will feel that, well, some occasions the person feels to vomit, and that's what we call nausea. Then we also have, there are occasions when it is associated with vomiting. Then also it could be linked with headaches. Then it could be associated with chest pain. Also what we call heart racing, or what we call palpitations. Then the person might also feel as if he wants to fall. And then there's what we call, that's what we call the syncope. That means that feeling or just falling, okay? And then there are some times when it could be linked with some of the neuropathic symptoms, which includes that pain sensation and numbness. So those are the likely symptoms, and sometimes even abdominal pain. Those are all so many symptoms in the body could be linked with that. And then we have also what we call tinnitus, what we call a ringing noise. And then we're going to discuss some other diagnostic and other conditions that are linked with this vertigo, because vertigo is a broad topic.
Oh, okay.
So there are so many. So we're still going to discuss a lot.
Okay, so Doc, are there persons who are at risk, or a special group of people that might be at risk? Women, men, ageable people, young people?
Well, before we proceed to that, we need to understand that there are two types of vertigo. There's what we call the central and also the peripheral vertigo. When we mean central vertigo, it means that any form of vertigo or this abnormal sensation of spinning movement that is linked within the brain. That's called the central. Then when we're talking of peripheral, that means outside the brain. That goes the connection to the middle or the inner part of the ears, where the balance is controlled, because we're still going to discuss that. And so these are all linked with vertigo. And then there are different types of the central vertigo, which sometimes the person might have something like stroke, what we call cardiovascular accident. That's also linked with that. Then also we have some occasions where you have brain cancer.
Oh.
Yes, and different types of brain cancer, they link with the central aspect of the vertigo.
Okay.
And then, so go ahead.
Okay. So in terms of who's at risk?
So who is at risk? The risk factors, because there are so many risk factors, but before we have to, well, let me answer your question first. Because there are different types of vertigo. That's what I was trying to explain, because there are what we call, in the peripheral part of vertigo, there's what we call Meniere's disease or Meniere's syndrome. In the case of Meniere's syndrome, the person because the canal, which is the connecting pipe inside the inner ears, which helps in terms of distributing fluids. So sometimes the fluids might build up inside this canal. And as it builds up inside the canal, that will increase pressure. And when the pressure increases, then the person will start having some of these symptoms like ringing noise,
right, and
having hearing loss, and also vertigo, like we said, which is a sense of movement, especially on just one part of the ears. And then we also have what we call benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, which means the person will be experiencing this spinning movement. And this spinning movement is linked with when the person is trying to maybe shake or move one part of the body, and suddenly, periodically, the person will just experience this sense of movement.
Right, right. So
then,
okay, go ahead.
Because I didn't answer your question.
Right, okay.
So in the case of Meniere's disease, because these are all subclass of vertigo, because you ask who are what categories of people at risk or age groups. So in the case of Meniere's syndrome, it's quite common among people who are older from 50 years to 70. So though it's still anybody could be a victim of that, and various causes, because as one is getting older, the cells in the ears will start getting degenerated, and as it's getting degenerated, that tenacity for the structures in the ears to be highly supported will be lost, and because of that, that canal might start building up a lot of fluids. But in the younger age groups, the commonest causes of that could be maybe trauma and toxins, which might be in form of bacteria or any type of infection. And then we also talk of paroxysmal positional vertigo, which is called PPV, and which is common in the middle age group as compared to the other age groups. Right. And then there are quite a lot of them, but if I keep listing them here, we're going to spend a lot of time here.
Okay. So, Doc, I'm kind of curious about what triggers a vertigo attack.
Well, there are various causes and the risk factors related to vertigo. First and foremost, we know that Lifestyle is also a factor in terms of causing this vertigo. We know that alcohol contributes a lot. Also, food, something like caffeine, coffee, triggers that, and then also high salt consumption also linked with that. Then we also have the type of vertigo that link with medications, different types of medications, both antihypertensive medications, antihistaminic, so many types of even antibiotics. These are also linked with vertigo. And then we also have a type of vertigo that is linked with people who have migraine. So in that case, some patients who have migraine could also have vertigo and thereabouts.
Okay. All right. So, Doc, what about controlling it? Is there a way of controlling it so that it doesn't reoccur? You know, so you're somebody who's had several episodes. How can and I know that you said that there are different kinds, but are there any ways that you can actually keep it on the wraps?
Well, like I explained, there are different types of vertigo, but broadly it's divided into episodic and continuous types. When in the case of episodic type, that's where the BPPV, that's benign positional paroxysmal vertigo, that's where it fits in. And as the name implies, episodic means timing, okay? So it could come on its own without any warning signs, and and it's something that is unpredictable. So sometimes vertigo might appear without any signs and even appear spontaneously. And then also there are occasions when it could become continuous. And then, so in some occasions it's quite difficult to control it. Okay.
Can it be brought on by stress, Doc?
Yes, stress is also one of the factors. Stress and anxiety, they are also considered to be one of the causes of vertigo, in the sense that in the aspect of the continuous aspect of vertigo. But before you will include stress or anxiety, you must have ruled out other causes. Oh. You must have ruled out the fact that it's not linked with benign positional paroxysmal vertigo. It must also confirm that it's not linked with what we call labyrinthitis or vestibular neuritis. It's not also linked with something like Meniere's disease and other causes. So you must, so on the bottom of the scale, that's where after is a diagnosis of exclusion in terms of vertigo. Okay. So you must have ruled out other things before you could consider stress as a cause of vertigo.
Okay, Doc, you know, I have experienced it, and I know probably some people too. There are some times when you get these brief episodes of somewhat lightheadedness, but you would not necessarily say there is a revolution, but you feel something and you almost lose your balance. And that episode lasts for 15 seconds or so. Is that vertigo?
Well, vertigo, like as the name implies, is quite different. I tried to mention that there are a spectrum of dizziness. So, and in the dizziness, there are different types. You have vertigo, which is also part of it. You have lightheadedness, and then you also have unsteadiness and also disorientation. Oh. So, based on the question you ask if the person is passed out, isn't it? So, in that case, because there's what we call presyncope or syncope. Syncope means the person already passed, you know, and in lightheadedness, lightheadedness means that the person feels as if he wants to pass out, okay? Right. So that's lightheadedness, and it could just happen within a few periods, and that's called, also classified as presyncope, okay? The person feels as if he or she wants to pass out. It still has to do with perception. It has to do with the feelings, okay? But that does not represent the actual situation.
Okay. All right, good. Thanks for that. Doc, what about Grenada? Have you seen many of that sort of case in Grenada?
Yes, as a matter of fact, just in every society, this vertigo is not as common as, it's not something that is quite common in practice, but it's still possible. And I know that on several occasions I've had a couple of clients who present with this, and it's quite a nightmare for them. And the bad aspect of it is that most investigations and most treatments that these clients have received from many physicians and specialists seem not to work. And it seems that after treatment and taking all the medications, the symptoms still persist. So it's quite a very difficult situation in terms of management.
And speaking of difficult in terms of its management, what about its diagnosis? How hard is it to diagnose? Because sometimes someone may have the experience and they come to you when they're okay. So how are you able to test for vertigo?
That's a very good question. Well, in terms of clinical diagnosis, there are so many criteria which one has to. First is to take a proper history. Proper history in the sense that you're asking the person questions, please, can you tell me what happened? Okay. And the person would explain, yes, I experienced the sensation of spinning movement, and then you now ask, just like the way we started, what are other associated symptoms? Okay. And then you take it up in that level. From there, you now have to examine the patient, do what we call physical examination. In the aspect of physical examination, there are some things you must look out for. You must look out for it, because what happened is that this vertigo we're talking about, or even dizziness, what happened is that there are 4 major or 5 aspects of the body that are interconnected. We have the brain, we have the eyes, we have the ears, we have the neck, we have also the limbs. Okay, so these structures are connected. They are connected by some neurons. Okay, so and these neurons give them that connection, and that means they have a feedback. They integrate. But in some occasions there might be abnormality in one aspect. Okay. And then, because of this abnormality, then one would start, there will be deviation, okay? So when you're testing for, you must do what we call the head, ear, nose, and throat test. And when you do that, then you proceed and you do neurological test, okay? Why are you trying to do neurological test? Because there are still aspects of vertigo that is linked with the brain, okay? Then you proceed and also do what we call the cardiovascular examination. In the aspect of cardiovascular examination, you want to confirm if what is causing the vertigo, does it have any link with the heart, okay? And then after that, you proceed. And then you can do, there are some what we call an office-based procedures which you can do. You can do what we call this hall pike. This hall pike is one of the procedures which you can do in order to provoke, because you want to confirm. Because in the inner ear, there's what we call the crystals, or the calcium. Calcium sometimes could be dislodged from one position and move into the posterior aspect of the back part of the vestibular, and that could cause this type of abnormal movement, which you call BPPV, okay? And then you're trying to provoke it. You want to know if when you change the person in a particular position or an angle, and then if you want to confirm if that person could be able to experience this benign this vertigo, okay? And then you can also use that opportunity to treat if you have confirmed using this hall pike. You do what you call an air-place maneuver. An air-place maneuver means that you're trying to reposition the calcium back into the position where it should be in the inner ears. Okay? So then, having done that, you can go further to do also some other tests. You can do what we call the nystagmus, and I don't want to be using medical terms here. Okay, so you can also, after that, you can do CT scan, MRI, and even brain scan, and also X-rays and stuff like that. Then there is also minimal help, depending on if there are other findings. You can proceed to do laboratory, but laboratory is not actually it's not as helpful in terms of diagnosis. And there are some occasions when after doing all these tests and nothing is still positive. So it could be time consuming, and it could be financially also challenging too.
Okay. Is it a permanent condition, Doc?
Well, it's not, because this is a benign condition. It's classified as a benign condition, means it's a kind of friendly, or it's not a severe, it's not a serious condition, and it's quite difficult for the person to pass on or to die. Okay, so it's some occasions it could be a permanent, it depends on the type of the vertigo. There are some occasions where it could be a permanent condition, whereby it keep coming back, keep reoccurring without any signal and stuff like that.
We have a question here. Someone is asking if dehydration can lead to vertigo.
Definitely. Dehydration, which means when we're talking of dehydration means that the person has lost a lot of fluids or water. Yes, it's also considered as one of the causes of vertigo. Apart from this dehydration, like I've already explained, that this aspect in the inner part of the ears where you have the canal, sometimes when the fluids gets depleted, and also fluids in the body gets depleted, that could also lead to vertigo. Then we know that hypoglycemia, which means low blood sugar, could also cause that. It could also lead to vertigo and some other causes.
What about malnutrition?
Yes, malnutrition in the aspect of vitamins. Like there are some vitamins, especially vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is considered to be one of the essential vitamins that help in terms of neurological function. So whenever the vitamin B12 is depleted, it could also lead to vertigo. Even calcium, because we have already mentioned that calcium is also a factor, and also vitamin D depletion. Some of these vitamins, they are also linked with also deficiency in some of these vitamins could also lead to vertigo.
So Doc, let's imagine somebody's having an episode, an attack. What do you recommend? Do they stand at attention? Do they sit? Do they kneel? What should they do if they're having an attack?
Well, it's recommended that once there is any attack, first thing is the person should rest, should lie down. The reason is that because you know that blood flow is also considered as, or what we call the disruption of the blood flow could also trigger vertigo. So it's expected that the person, whenever these symptoms comes up, it's expected that the person should lie in a what we call a supine position. Should just lie in a position where there will be blood flow return back into the brain. Because the person sitting or standing above or against the gravity, blood might not be able to get into the brain. So it's essential that the person will sit in a horizontal position and rest for like a couple of minutes, between 5 to 10 minutes. And then we're trying to reposition or trying to stand, the person will not, it's not advisable that the person will be able to sit up or stand up upright quickly. The reason is that this might cause what we call orthostatic hypotension, and that could also worsen the situation. So in that case, it's advisable that as this person experiences it, just lie down for a couple of minutes, and then as you're trying to sit up gradually, gradually, gradually until it settles. And water is also considered to be helpful. Since we know that dehydration is also considered as one of the causes, so when you drink enough water, it will be very helpful, and that helps a lot in terms of relieving the symptoms of vertigo.
And on the issue of dizziness, Doc, sometimes you wake up, your alarm wakes you up or whatever, and you get up one time, you find that, it happened to me maybe once or twice, that you're a little woozy, you feel a little dizzy just once you just wake up suddenly. Can you explain that for us?
Yes, this is what we call orthostatic hypotension. It's actually common among the elderly folks. And we know that most times one of the major causes of vertigo and dizziness in the elderly population is due to medications, and because of medications they take, and that could also cause that. And also, since most of the elderlies are known to be on so many medications, so it's also expected that fall sometimes in the process of trying to sit up in a very fast pace, and that could cause this dizziness or even vertigo. So it's expected that what we call orthostatic hypotension, which means that the blood pressure increases, what we call the systolic blood pressure rises above 20 millimeters mercury, and then the diastolic blood pressure, which is the blood pressure that helps in terms of receiving blood into the heart, that's relaxing blood pressure, which is diastolic, is going to increase or drop by 10 millimeters by mercury. And then we'll have also the pulse rate increasing by 30 beats per minute. So it's advisable that when this occasion comes up or these symptoms comes up, it's expected that the person should be able to be inclined in a position that will be comfortable, where these symptoms will not be triggered. So you must take your time, give yourself at least couple of minutes. Mikey, but at your age, you're still a young man, and it's not expected that you should be a victim of this at this age. So it's common in the elderly population.
Maybe I'm getting old too fast.
No, it's still very well.
and not to go away from the subject a bit, you know what the other thing, the other problem I have, Doc, is whenever I wake up, I cannot speak until probably 5 minutes would have elapsed or so. If I speak, I will have intense headaches. So 5 minutes after waking up, no word can come out of my mouth.
Well, Mikey, this is a different thing, huh?
I know.
You know, after speaking this Mikey life every day, it's expected, eh? I'm joking, eh?
All right, Doc. Is there any area of this topic that you thought we should have addressed that we didn't?
Well, I think we tried cover the basic aspects of that, this topic.
Okay.
Where I'm sure that most people, our viewers, will be able to define what is vertigo, and they will be able to help understand different types of vertigo, that is central and peripheral, and they should be able to understand the risk factors, and then also understand the symptoms, and also understand the incidence of that in the society. And then that's the almost the synopsis of what we discuss with respect to this what we call vertigo.
Okay, Doc. All right, and before we go, Doc, you want to tell us about the Divine Medical Center and Diagnostic Services, your location?
Well, Divine Medical and Diagnostic Services is located in Granby Street. Just the landmark is L.A. Purcell, and we cover all sorts of services. Our range of services includes specialist services. We have general practice, then family medicine, then also physiotherapy, ultrasounds, laboratory. We have a well-equipped lab, and we offer all range of services. And then our motto is confidentiality, efficiency, and also efficacy, and everything you want.
Okay, all right, Doc. All right, well, thanks again, Doc, and we're looking forward to having another interesting program next Thursday, God's willing.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, not a problem, folks. And that's Dr. Ansling Okeke from the Divine Medical Center and Diagnostic Services. All right, and you could check him out. Check out the clinic. All right, folks. We're taking a quick break, and we will be right back.
What we're about to share with you, it works. And it will literally change lives of people that really haven't thought about the local church and haven't thought they need to come. When non-church people come to church, they just kind of connect because you've got it down. And congratulations, but I'm not talking about those people that kind of come and seek a friend. I'm talking about people, hey, can I tell you something? They're not going to come. I have a question to ask you. What are we going to do with people who are never going to come to church? What are we going to do with them? Stand before God and say, whoops, they didn't fit into my program. Or are we going to be like the story that Jesus gave that had 99 people in church? They were called sheep. And they left the 99 people and went out and found the one. And this is all about finding the one. And my passion is to connect the local church to this community. A transformational church mobilizes believers to identify their stream of influence, connect relationally and strategically, and share their faith to the community and around the world. And what we want to do is help you be that salt and light transformational church.
We listened to what you had to say and tore up the old rules, because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now, lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your QuickPick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
The countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Quartz today and make this season epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts present Youth Week 2018, empowering our youth, shaping our community, protecting our future. The week of activities kicks off on Friday, November 9th with the Minister's Address from 8 p.m. Saturday, 10th November, Health Fair, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cuthbert Peters Park, Go, and the Fitness Revolution, 3 p.m. Concord Junction. Sunday, 11th November, it's the Peace Concert, Grenville Brush Terminal. On Tuesday, 13th November, ministers meet with the youth at Her Majesty's Prison. Thursday, 15th November, from 5 p.m., it's the Imani Graduation, Youth Awards and Gala. And on Friday, 16th through the weekend, it's the National Youth Service Weekend. Every parish get involved. And on Saturday, 17th November, it's Youth Expo, Explosion Fashion and Cultural Day, 2 p.m. until at Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark. So remember, Youth Week 2018, November 9th to the 17th.
Alrighty, welcome back, folks. What we want to give you right now is the weather before we wrap things up for tonight. Alright, so here is the weather. The weather is expected to be the winds, sorry, is expected to be east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Alright, and the seas moderate, waves up to 4 to 6 feet in open waters. And what else do I have to tell you about this? Yeah, I think that's the general information that we have here for you. I don't think there's anything more specific that you would like to know. All right, yep, so that's it right there. And we want to say thank you to those of you who always tune into the program. Those of you who wait all to the end of each program, we want to say thank you. And let's just big up some people on the program right now, right? We see that we have Zaka, Trevelyn, Deslin, Abby, Esther, Naomi, Suzette, Ezran, Rayburn, Nika, Charles. Who wants to see the dance? Kevin. I said Deslin already, right? Jennifer. How many Charles we have? Allah, Ambassador. Alright, we have Nika. We have who else? Nicole with us as well. Alright, so everybody who's on there, we want to say big up to you. Alright, and may God bless you and your family. Big up Sharon Rush. Alright, so remember, at the end of this broadcast, we're coming back live again because we have a special national address by the Miss Beryl. All right, Isaac. So I want to say thank you guys, and do have yourselves a great evening, have yourselves a great night. I hope you all will come back at the end of the program when we come back with a special address. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your family, and God richly bless. And you play more busy than me. Anyway, folks, let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja. No. Good night, everyone. Big up Zaka. I didn't see you there. Big up Zaka. All right. And everyone else, big up Alan thing, eh? Rachel, I see you there. All right. And Pearl. Big up to you, Pearl. Okay. And who else? I think that's it. Veronica. And Seta. See, y'all coming on late, man. And Kireen, y'all coming on late. Alright, so big up all yourself. Alright, let's go. Ja. No. Good night. Ooh.